Hi everybody! These last couple of weeks I've been working on a project making some poppers for a fishing trip I'm going on next year. Bending the wire for these poppers has been quite a pain for me, as it needs to be quite heavy duty wire. That is, until I made this little tool for bending the wire, as it made the bending quite easy and also made the results look very nice. In this little video you can see how I built this little wire bender and how I use it. So just hang in here and let's get on with it. The tool is actually quite simple and cheap to make. With a little luck you might have most of the parts lying around in your shed. Otherwise, like me, you can go to the hardware store and maybe use for about $5 of parts and you'll have all you need. I think the easiest way to get started is to actually see the thing working, because that will make it easier for you to understand what and why the different parts are as they are. Okay, so let's just head over to my vise here and see me bend a wire, okay? I've now placed the tool here in my vise, and as you can see it consists of 3 pins sticking up, one from the nut, which is the outside, and 2 from the center. One of them being a bit thicker, as that is the one that'll give the right size for the eye. Okay, and to use it I'll just place my wire here in between the 2 center ones. I'll just give it a little twist, as I want it very to make the shape like an eye, and I'll just take my handle here and use that to twist the wire around the bigger pin here. Then when I get to the end I'll give it a good twist, and as you can see this will give me kind of a crooked eye, so I'll just turn it over on the other side and give it a twist again, and now I have quite a nice eye which is completely straight. Okay? If you want to, you can also use the tool here for just making bends on the wire like this. If you know the 90-degree bend, you can just do it like that, and that will be very easy. You can do that with a plier as well, but this is just very handy when you are working with the wires. Well, before we get started, let's just have a quick look at the materials you need, and they are all placed right here on my table. First of all, you need a large bolt with a nice straight piece up here. This one is 12 millimeters, which suffices for the eye size I'm making here. I have 2 nuts that match the bolt. One used for the spacer up here and the rest for the handle, and the other one for the turner here. So 2 of those. Then I have one fairly much smaller bolt which I use for my handle. It should be small enough to be able to go into this one without getting too close to the edge of the bolt when you the nut when you put that one in. I have a screw here, not because I need the screw, but the piece up here which is straight I can use for the pins here, both for the smaller and for the larger pin. The larger pin here will be the size of my eye, and the 2 smaller ones I will cut out those pieces to use for the 2 smaller pins which I use to force the wire around the larger one here. So when it comes to choosing a bolt for the project, there's a few things you have to consider. First of all, you need to consider what size the eyes on the lure should be. For this lure, which I need to be using quite heavy duty split rings on, I would like the hole to be 4 millimeters. So the one peg I have here on my bolt should be 4 millimeters thick. The 2 other pegs can be slightly smaller, so I'll set those for 3 millimeters, which match the screws I have. So this will be those 2. The space here in between should be a bit more than the size of the wire, which is 1.6 millimeters. So let's set just those for 2, and also down here the wire needs to go through there as well. So 2 there, which is 1 and 1, and this will also mean 1 up there. And if you add all those up together, you'll have 11 millimeters thickness of the bolt. I have chosen the 12 millimeter bolt. That will leave me a little bit of room for the space between the nut and the bolt, because it won't be an exact match. Okay? From these materials we can make all the parts we need.
First of all, we need to cut down the bolt to the size of this one, and that is about 3.2 centimeters. So that will be the first thing we do. Grab a hacksaw and cut this over. Let's just see. After that, we need to remove the threads from inside the nuts here. If I had a 12mm drill, I will just drill that through. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I will be taking a file and filing until I can actually fit those nuts down over the shaft here of the bolt. This one is the only one that doesn't need modifying. Here I need to cut out the piece of the shaft here of the screw, as that will be my 4mm turning point. And also on the smaller screws here, I'll need to cut out those two pieces, which will be my 3mm pegs for turning the wire. Okay, so a bit of cutting and grinding, and then we should be ready to assemble the thing. The next part will be to drill some holes here in the parts, and I'll start out with the main part here, the bolt. And as we learned from the whiteboard drawing, the larger peg should be approximately 3.5mm from the side. So I'll just set that here and make a mark on that if possible. I can see it, it's hard to see. And the other hole should be on the opposite side, just around 2.5mm from the side. So I'll just set that for that and try to make a mark there as well. That's okay. It's hard for you to see, but I can see the marks here, so I have something to drill from. So I'll just place this one in my little vise here. And as I'm drilling quite close to the edge with these, I'll start out by drilling a smaller hole and then make a bigger hole after that. So let's just start with the smaller hole here, and I think that 2.5mm will be fine for that. One of the nuts also need a hole for a peg here, and as we'll be drilling really close to the edge here, you really have to be careful. Of course you need to drill where there's a top here, so you have the most material to drill in. But anyways, you'll be drilling quite close to the edge, so take care and start by using a small drill and go up in size, just as the other one maybe just have a step or two more. Okay? So I'll just place it here. Okay, and the last thing I need to do here in the metalworking department is to cut a thread in the hole I made on the side of the bolt, which is going to be the turning part. So I'll just go ahead and do that. We now have all the pieces ready for the tool and can assemble the parts here. And the first thing I'll do is I'll take the extra nut, which has no holes in it, and put that one on the shaft. The surfaces here should align, and the distance from the top should be the same of the second nut here. So I'll just use a bit of 5-minute epoxy to set that in place, as there's no threads or anything else that can hold it there. As you might have noticed, I also glued on the handle to the top nut here, so that one is nice and fixed and won't get loose, because there isn't much room for a good thread here. But still, now they are all fit together, and as you can see, I have a nice flat surface of here, which will give me a good area for bending. Now I just need to put in the pegs, and they are a bit too long, so I will cut them into size afterwards. But I'll just start out with putting them in here and making sure they stay with it. They are a little bit conical, as I had to grind off a little bit of the surface to get them to fit into the holes. They're actually maybe a bit more than the 4 and 3 millimeters, but that will be nice for this fit, as then I won't be able to get them out again, and that is the purpose, I guess, in some way. So now I have all 3 in place, and I'll just grab my Dremel and go ahead and cut off a bit of the peg, so they are not that big in size. Okay. The tool is now finished and ready to use. And as a bit of a proof of concept, I'll show you how I use the tool to bend some wires for my poppers. Okay, let's just see how I bend the wire for my popper here. First of all, I have cut off a piece of wire which is the right length, according to my experience. And I've made a mark on it, which is not the center of the wire, but actually the position of what should be the center eye here on the lure. I'll just place this in my tool with the mark right near the outside here, give it a little twist for the eye shape, and then take it all the way around like this, flip it over like that. Now I have a nice eye here. Then I want to bend this wire 90 degrees. So I'll just use the tool for this as well. I could use a plier, but I think this is working quite well. So I'll just take this, push it over to 90 degrees, like that, I think. Flip it over once again. And do the same for the other side. Like that. I can just push these two together. Maybe use a plier to give it a little notch, because it's actually pried open. Okay, now I have a nice center eye, and I can put this in my mold here, and I can use a marker to set a mark for each of the other eyes. So I'll just do that. One there and one here. Just transferring them to the other side, because it seems to be on that side I need to bend. Okay. So now I'm getting back to my tool here. I am placing the wire in the tool, giving it a little bend, and taking it all the way around. Just like before. Like that. Turn it over. Like that. Hopefully this should be the front eye and should fit correctly. Yes, it looks that way. Then I take the other side, once again, place the wire in here, bend it a little bit, and take it all the way around like that, flip like that. Okay, hopefully this fits directly into the mold now. Yes,
It looks that way. Okay. And then I just have to remove my tool here from the vise, because I need the vise for the last part here. And then I'll just place my wire in the vise, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 centimeters up here, like that. Just before I tighten it completely, I'll push these 2 wires together so they're quite close, like that. Then I can bend down the loose end, if you say so, 90 degree, maybe give it a tap with the plier here, and then just take the plier and twist it around the other one. And well, it always snaps out. Like that. Turn it over to the other side, do the same, place it, push them together, bend down 90 degree, grab the plier and twist it around the other part here, like that. Okay, and then there's only one thing left, is to cut off the loose ends here, so to speak. So I'll just grab this one, like that, and like that. Then I have a very nice wire here, and let's see if it fits. Well, it does. Very nice.
I already made one of these tools for myself before I made this video, so now I actually have 2 of them, which I don't really need. So I think I'll make a drawer for this extra one, and the drawer will be between everyone that within the first 7 days after the release of this video has entered a comment down below with the text "Gimme that tool." So 1 week after the release date, I'll make a drawer of everyone that has commented "Gimme that tool." You can make a write more than that, but you need the text to enter in it. Okay? Well, that's all for now. I hope you liked this little video about making this tool. And well, nothing left to say, but I hope you see me soon.